Hi guys!
Hi!
So today I'm gonna show you how I did this to my sister's hair, and it's kind of a purpley haze. It's a smoky purple. We didn't do like a full-on color, we did kind of highlights, so it got like really beautiful. You don't have like shocking, surprising color, you have kind of lights of it and like a grayish base. So I'm gonna show you how I do that, and because when I was filming it, kinds of bits of it kind of got lost, I'm gonna explain it all here and then kind of intercept it with the videos of me doing the stuff. So we first started with, she had virgin hair. So we started by drenching it in oil, and the best oil to do this is coconut oil. Put a lot of it and protect your hair because the bleach will go right through it and it will still nourish your hair and it will be more protected.
I put my hair into a ponytail to not get in the way, and we let it sink for like about an hour.
For about an hour. You can do whatever in that hour, just let the product sink in. So then I started mixing the bleach, and the bleach I used was this Blonde Me Duo. It's the premium, yes, it's the premium range, because the regular one goes up to 7 levels of lift and this one goes up to 9. And my sister's base is actually pretty dark, so we needed that 9 levels. So we used the premium range with the 40 volume developer, and that's really important because we do want to get all the 9 lifts. So the mixture you can use is about 1 of powder to 1.5 of developer, or 1 of powder to 2.5. I kind of went in the middle of those two, I think, but you kind of like go with the texture that you want and figure out what works best for you and what works best for the type of work you're trying to do. And then we wanted to use Olaplex because it really protects the hair fiber and it's a bond multiplier. I'm gonna just give like a brief introduction on Olaplex. Your hair fiber is created with bonds, and those break really easily. You don't need to bleach it or either dye it for the bonds to break. Just regularly your hair gets damaged, your ends especially, with time, with the weather, with everything. You can use it in dyes, in bleaching, or on its own. What Olaplex does is multiply those bonds and make them stronger, so your hair can actually heal a little bit. And then we started bleaching. So we're gonna start with a cup of this, and that's about 35 grams. And then we're probably gonna need more, but I'm just gonna do the 1 dose and then I'll make more if I need it. So I'm gonna start mixing the two, and I'm gonna see the kind of texture that works out, and then I'll see if I'll add more developer or not. I'm gonna just pour a little bit more, and okay, so that's now pretty even. I hope you can see. And creamy. Because we're using Olaplex, because I really want to take care of my sister's hair, we're doing 3.75 ml. Okay, that's it, and you just pour that in. You just have to have an even texture before you pour in the Olaplex, and then just swirl it around until it peacefully mixes with the texture. Hey, that's it! We're gonna start applying now! So we're gonna brush the hair, and that's really important because we want the bleach to go evenly. So first I'm gonna explain, we're gonna do it about to here, but we don't want that severe like bleach line or something. So we're going to do kind of degradé from here to here, and it will be kind of like an ombre deep dye. So I'm gonna start with this lower layer of hair. So the way I do it is kind of a balayage technique, and that just means that I'm gonna go along with the stroke. So I'll start down here and completely soak this hair in bleach and turn it around, make sure you get both sides. And then you start going up. It doesn't matter if it's not really a clean dégradé because we're not really into that. If it comes out a bit more grungy, that's really just okay. So then I just brush it. Really, don't be afraid because we've done this like 2 times before and it doesn't come out streaky at all when you do this. And you just hug it in the aluminum foil and let it hang. Just make sure that between each section of hair, each one of these little things, that you wipe your hands with a damp cloth because you don't want to stain the unbleached hair. Again, you take a little bit of hair and you soak the ends, both sides. You can work it with your hands as well if that is more practical for you. I kind of just do it in tiny strokes, but you can go up with your hands. Make sure you get the middles as well. Get the front, get the back, but get the middles as well because sometimes some of those little hairs in the middle don't get bleached. Okay, so we're kind of halfway through processing and we took some of the aluminum foils out because they were heating up a lot. And these, we kind of had a little surprise because my sister used to have her hair deep dyed with a greenish blue. And apparently she kind of dragged it upwards a bit, so we still have a little green in it. But because we're going to use a purple dye next, I don't think that's going to be a big problem. But yeah, as you can see, even with the Premium Plus, her hair is so dark that it will never go to that whitish shade, but it is pretty light and we're pretty happy with it. We're just waiting a little bit for the upper layers to line a bit more because they were the last ones to be done. But yeah, this is how it is. The whole process took about an hour. I was actually kind of worried that the bottom would process too fast, but it didn't. Even with the foils, it didn't. I think Olaplex also helped here, and then we got a really light shade.
Okay, so then I went into the shower and rinsed my hair to get rid of all the bleach. And after that, I applied Olaplex number 2,
the bond perfector. Don't shampoo right away. First apply the Olaplex number 2 and leave it on for at least 10 minutes.
And we left it on 10 minutes. I went into the shower again and shampooed and conditioned with purple toned products.
And then we went into the color. And color-wise, we always use the same brand up to date, which is the La Riche Directions dye. They are semi-permanent conditioning hair colors. And what this means is they do fade away, of course, but they never really fade completely. It depends. If you have a really pale shade of blonde and you apply like a lilac-y or something like I have done before, it will wash off completely. But if you have like pale hair and you apply purple, it will never completely fade out. But we use these colors and they are conditioning, so they're not harsh on the hair at all, and they pack a pretty good pigment. So this was a process because we didn't want it to be like an all-around perfect color. We want it to be like highlighted. I kind of diluted the purple shade, which was the violet shade, with a conditioner, and I had this conditioner laying around, so I thought it was perfect. It's the Eva Fabuloso light beige depositing conditioner, color depositing conditioner, and that just means that it will deposit a beigey color on your hair. So I thought it would be perfect because it would kind of create that pastel-y tone we wanted. So I did 2 parts of the violet dye and 1 part of the conditioner, and we did an all-around base. So afterwards, I just went with the pure dye and went in some places where I thought it would need it the most, and the blonder places and the places that were harder to get. With this color, you don't really have to worry about foils. So you just apply it willy-nilly and try to get your hair all soaked up in this. And you don't really have to worry about barriers now because this will not dye the virgin hair. It will kind of give it some reflexes, I think, but it will fade out fast. We just want to massage it really well. Just make sure you get all the parts. See, there's a blondish part here. Just open up the hair to make sure you got everything. And when you're done with this, you should comb the hair. You should comb it until the mixture becomes like frothy. It's kind of whitish here, and that's how you want it to get, because that's when it starts working. So the base is pretty much done, and now I'm gonna go with the original purple dye, the violet dye, and go in a few places just to give it a bit more of dimension. I'm just dipping it here and kind of going like I did with the bleach, doing like a balayage kind of thing. And then you have to wait for about half an hour. You can also add foils and go to the blow dryer so that the heat really activates the dye, and it actually cuts down time if you're in a hurry, and also usually makes the dye penetrate further and last longer. So that's what we're going to do now. And finally, and if you're wondering why we have changed clothes, it's because yesterday my camera just cut my video and didn't record it. Okay, so the last step I did was that I let the purpley conditioner mixture on the hair for about 30 minutes after going to the hair dryer, and then applied a new conditioner texture. So for that I used a lot of the beige depositing conditioner, and just a teeny tiny bit of the ebony dye. And the ebony dye is kind of a black dye. It doesn't seem black, it seems kind of brownish, but it gives that smoky grayish shade over the purple that we create. And actually, for the parts that didn't really grab onto the violet shade, that got a little bit blondish, it just turned them into like a grayish beige, which is pretty awesome. And then we let that sink in for 10 minutes, and
then I rinsed off and styled it as usual.
So that's pretty much it for today. I guess I'll see you next week.
If you really like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you like my sister, subscribe to her channel because she's awesome.
And if you want to go watch my sister rock some pretty amazing covers, click on her face and you'll get there. So that's pretty much it. Bye! And just to get the flare of the hair. No, just to get the flare of the hair.
What is the flare of the hair?
Well, let me tell you. That's pretty much it for today.
I can work like this.
And if you want to do my sister,